Yes, time for Burger Brothers once again. We are at Freddy's. This is the location on Lewis near 11th. There are 2 locations in Tulsa. And you know what? It's football season.
It is.
So we have a very special guest that's going to join us inside Freddy's. They are open for business. Let's go. Of course, it's football season, and we're joined by a very special guest, honorary Burger Brother, Coach Phil Montgomery from TU. Thanks so much for being with us.
Appreciate you.
Glad to have you along. I think we're going to go ahead and order. I'll get a bacon cheeseburger. Nothing on it.
Just plain?
Just plain.
You want fried onions at all?
Absolutely. And some onion rings.
I'm going to have the bacon cheeseburger as well with mayonnaise, lettuce, and cheese only. With you got to put the grilled onions on. I mean, I can't go without those. And then just fries.
I'll take the double deluxe. What comes on a double deluxe?
Mustard, pickle, onion, lettuce, and tomato. Onions are fried and raw.
Perfect. Can I get the with no lettuce, no tomato?
Okay.
Everything
You want
else?
cheese?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Double deluxe. Nice.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so. I'm going to partake in
Okay.
Coach's fries.
All right, guys.
Tell us a little bit about the history of this place as you know it. Obviously, this place has changed hands a few times. The actual building, Freddy's, has been around for quite a while.
Yeah, it was Hank's first in the 80s, and then it was Mark and Tammy's, and then in 2000, Mark and Tammy sold it to Freddie, and then it's been Freddy's ever since.
I would imagine being close to TU, you get quite a few college kids coming in here.
Yeah, the football players will really come in. They'll get those big. I've had a guy come in here and get a 2-pound burger, you know, and I'm just like, if you can eat it, go ahead.
So
I'll cook it.
So you'll actually make a 2-pound burger?
Yeah, we'll make whatever somebody order.
Really? Sounds like a challenge. What would you say is the most popular thing you guys have? Obviously, you have so many different burgers on there, but do you have like a signature burger?
Yeah, probably our quarter pound, our deluxe. Yep. Most people come in and just say, I want a cheeseburger, and we'll give them a deluxe. And good with that.
Now, there are 2 locations for Freddy's in Tulsa. This place obviously has a lot of history behind it.
Yeah, the other one, he opened, it's fairly new, and they have a lot of other things, but we just like to keep the history and keep the old-fashioned, just regular burgers and fries and everything else.
You get a lot of the same customers that have been coming
Yeah,
for years?
we have a lot of regulars, and it's great to see, that people enjoy our food and keep coming back, and really puts a smile on my face and makes me enjoy my job more.
What do you find, with or without onions, which is more popular?
Probably with onions.
With onions.
A lot of people like it whenever we smash our onions into the meat, and honestly, I'm a fan of that too. I love it.
Of all the places in town, there are so many different cool little burger spots in town. What do you think it is about Tulsa that, kind of carries on that tradition of these places?
I think it's just Route 66. I think that ties in with it. They have these, old, small, hole-in-the-wall places, and I think Tulsa just, goes in with that.
You get a lot of people coming in that are making that Route 66 trip that come through here, and they stop off and try to hit these places as they can.
Yeah, we actually had a couple the other day who was from Spain, and it's great to see people coming in and doing that historic route, and I honestly, personally, I'd like to do it,
What do you say we have a bite of these burgers, boys?
I like it. Let's do it.
That's good.
That is good stuff. Now, you were telling me you are a burger guy.
I am. I love them. I would eat cheeseburgers or bacon cheeseburgers, I'd eat it every day if my wife wouldn't get mad at me.
You know? Same. This is the...
Matter of fact, I cooked them on the grill last night for myself. There you go.
There you go.
This is how we got in this trouble. Every time me and Ron would meet for other endeavors, we'd always go, hey, got time to grab a burger? And I go, this man likes burgers as much as I do, which is like every day. And we couldn't believe how many standalone great spots there were. We decided to go, let's go check them out. So that's awesome you're here. We need a new perspective anyway on...
That's one of the, because I've only lived here now going on 4 or 5 years, and one of the more interesting parts about Tulsa is the food here is unbelievable. And there's a lot of mom and pop type places, which I like to go to.
Me too, here and there.
And, being able to kind of go and there's a debate, and I figured it out after being here a couple of months. Everybody's got their own spots as where's your burger place,
right.
And everybody wants to kind of weigh in on what you think the best burger is in town, which is, I don't know that you can choose one. They're all good, but a lot of great places.
That's what
You're reading from we're on the same chapter, because if you want to start a fight on Facebook, just say so-and-so, insert favorite hamburger spot,
right,
has the best burger in Tulsa, and the drama will ensue.
Usually you'll fight over your sports teams and burger places.
That's the truth.
That's true.
So being a football coach, I gotta ask, who's your favorite pro football team? And did you play football? Obviously you played football. Did you play pro football, college football?
I played college football, didn't play pro football. Growing up, being from Texas, I was a Cowboys fan all the way.
Okay.
As I've stayed in this game longer and had the opportunity to coach several guys that are getting to play in the league, and we work all weekend long during the season. So most of the time, all you get to see is kind of the highlights, or maybe the last quarter of the Sunday night game or something like that. But I really just kind of pay attention more to how the guys that I've been lucky enough to coach, how they did that day. And, you end up texting and doing stuff with those guys. So don't really have a favorite team anymore. Right. It's just kind of watching the game.
Got it. Now, who's your favorite college team?
University of Tulsa, I think, is the number one.
There it is. Now, we know Ron is a Detroit boy. Or you're a Lions fan.
Born in Texas, raised in Michigan.
Okay. So
went to OU. So yeah, I'm all.
Wow. Yeah. Almost as bad as me with my sports loyalties. See, in California, well, let's say in LA, there is no football team until now. So there is. So I remember the Rams when I was a kid. But I was a Joe Namath fan as a kid as well. And so that made me by default a Jets fan. I mean, anytime your favorite football player shows up on the Brady Bunch and plays football with the Bradys, it's kind of, especially at that ripe age of like 6, he was just a cult of personality. So somebody had made the mistake of getting me a Sears varsity jacket with the Naugahyde sleeves, and it was the Jets. And in New York at the time, there was a lot of Giants fans. I think my family's predominantly Giants fans. And I remember walking around the neighborhood and cats were like, hey, Joe Namath, hey. And I thought, this is cool. I don't know what, all right, cool. So I've been a lifelong Jets fan, but it is unlike watching the Yankees because they seem to lose a lot. And so it's the cross I bear in football. That being said, go Yankees. And I know you're arcing back to the years of Barry Sanders cutting through the pack because, I know. Hey, I got to go back to Super Bowl III to see a win with the Jets. I don't know when.
I got to go back to the 50s to see. Back before I was born.
So for you went to OU, right? Well, Barry Sanders playing at Oklahoma State. You probably didn't like Barry at that time.
Actually, you know what?
Becoming a Detroit Lion obviously changed your mind about it.
I will say, growing up in Michigan, I was an OU fan when I was in Michigan, but I was just watching Barry in college. Unbelievable. I mean, never seen somebody do the stuff he did. And I even made a little bet with my brother. I said, guarantee he's over 1,000 yards his first season. Guarantee it. He was like, yeah, I'll take that bet. And he was over 1,000, 6 weeks left.
Yeah.
He ended up second in the league in rushing that year. We were actually at a game where he broke the Lions rookie rushing record, Billy Sims' record.
Wow.
And they had a little ceremony, quick ceremony. Came out on the field. Billy came out. They took a picture, all this other stuff. Went off the field. And then Barry, as he was prone to do, lost 3 yards. Ran about 20, but lost 3 yards, and then fell back behind him for the record. So it was pretty typical of Barry. He was a guy that he'd gain 125 yards on the ground, but he would actually run about 250,
Right.
something like that.
And you said Billy Sims, that's another legend in these parts.
Yeah. Yeah,
For
fun
sure.
watching those guys growing up. Lions, Jets, week 1.
Well, I'll bet nobody goes 1,000 yards.
The Lions definitely are going to have a 1,000-yard runner. That does have to be cool because when you go back, guys from Houston, guys from Baylor, guys from here at TU that are still playing, it's got to be cool to watch them succeed.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, because you've gone through this whole process. You know, you've obviously recruited them out of high school. You know their families. You know what they've overcome to get to where they are now. All the work they put in college, and then getting the opportunity, because it's so difficult to just get to the league. And then once you get there, that doesn't mean you're going to get to stay very long. You know,
Kind of like music.
Yeah. A lot of guys don't make it to camp, or they'll make a record or get a single.
Yeah, of course.
You get one, and then you think, oh, I got this, and then all of a sudden it can just go away like that. So
This is how I end up in foreclosure. Say no more.
but it's great to watch those guys and see them have success. And it's not just the ones playing in the league. I mean, there's other guys that come back that are successful businessmen and great husbands and fathers, and that's the joy of what we get to do, is kind of go through that journey.
Unlike, I guess, in our grandfathers and Father's Day, where athletes were smoking in the dugout, and eating hot dogs and all that good stuff, it's nice to see you enjoying a burger. And, you know, I know everybody's on sports medicine and on core fitness and all that stuff. And we hear your players have also been spotted here at Freddy's. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's not bad to partake, I guess, right? Every blue moon with
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some balance in your life, right? I mean, obviously, our nutritionist, Annie, would probably push them a little further away from the burger.
So just no bun, but all burger is fine.
But you got to have some of that. I mean, you're going to. Those guys, I mean, the one that came in and ordered a 2-pound burger, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a little bit excessive, you know what I'm saying? But,
Flagrant?
you know, you got to have a little bit of.
If someone threw a yellow flag out on the field off
That would probably be a flagrant, you know. That might be a flagrant, you know, and he'd have to sit out the next game type deal on a
Targeting the
2-pound.
stomach?
Yes, exactly. That's a targeting all the way.
How much have things changed over the last decade or so with a lot of the new rules in place in terms of how guys are tackling, how they're hitting? Because there's so many gray areas when it comes to those targeting calls. And I mean, the rules are obviously in place for a reason, but sometimes it's just so borderline, and you don't know a guy's intent.
No, I don't know how you can ever measure a guy's intent when it comes to those things. I do think the game is taking some really good turns right now from the standpoint of safety. I think the way you teach some things have been differently. The way we have emphasized, hey, this particular hit, you know, is going to get you kicked out of a game. We can't have that, right? You and I, all of us, can remember back in the days when Ronnie Lott and the Smiling Assassin from Denver and, you know, Atwater and those guys were coming and just laying massive hits on people, you know. I mean, the NFL was making money off of it back then because they're selling all the big hit videos, you know. But times have changed. The game has changed, and I think it's changed for the better from that standpoint. This is an unbelievable game from a lot of different aspects, not just from the fan side of it, but just what it can teach young men, you know, being driven, having to fight through adversity, being on a team, you know, the melting pot of the locker room. There's a lot of great things that come out of this game. We just got to do a better job of continue to go down this road that we're on right now, which is just making the game safer so we can play it longer.
Don't surprise me.
Man, the double got me this morning. I'm going to have to just go with one onion ring.
I try one fry.
How can you eat one fry?
Well, it's good. Game is still time on the clock.
Yeah. Still early. We're rally here.
So your mom and dad own this? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So as a little kid, you're back here working,
Yeah.
cleaning tables, cooking, doing all of it?
Not cooking, but I just recently started cooking this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, when my parents owned it, I was really just waitressing, dressing the burgers. My dad was over there cooking, and I loved it, man.
That's got to be some fun memories right there.
Working with your family, it's the best thing.
Then you got to mop everything up when everything's done at the end of the day, or what? Dad let you go home? Oh, look at you.
I got to do it now, though.
That's right.
So you graduated last year?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
What school?
That's kind of cool.
Edison High School.
Okay. Home of the Soch.
Yeah.
I went over there maybe a month ago and spoke to the 7th graders about the Outsiders, or 8th graders. They were small. I don't remember what year they were small, but
They keep getting, it's like,
They look smaller.
They keep getting smaller and smaller every year.
yeah, that's basically how it works. You're absolutely right.
See, I think the opposite. Because
Think
I'm
they're
out
bigger?
recruiting. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
kids
yeah,
are
yeah.
getting bigger and bigger.
You're seeing the-
That's
Yeah.
true too.
I got some guys
That's
on my
true.
team. They're just
Massive.
You know, I can remember, doing it and loving it, and I still love it,
Nice.
So I have a picture of my dad holding me right over there by the register, whenever I was probably 8 months old, and I don't know what I would do, if my parents didn't teach me, and guide me,
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so here's the big question. Family comes in, right? Your family. You and Dad are both back there on the grill. Who cooks the better burger? You or Dad?
There you
Oh,
go.
look at her.
Well played. Here.
No hesitation. No hesitation. No hesitation.
Nice, nice.
He
But
is,
working on him, right?
Huh?
But you're working on him, right? You're close.
no.
Give yourself credit. It's a great burger.
A lot of people might say so, but anytime people say who cooks the best burger, I say Mark Wilman. He's the best.
Yeah. That's great.
He runs it out there at the fair, Freddie's Hamburgers, and he just recently had me start cooking. He's like, "Your burger melts in my mouth." I said, "Dad, your burger's still the best."
Nice, nice.
That's awesome.
That
That's
is
great.
awesome. Now, what got him into the burger business? Why?
I'm not really sure. I think it's because he had a friend. I think he was real good friends with Hank, and then him and my mom got into owning it,
Right.
and they just progressed from there.
I think that's one of the unique things about Tulsa. It's the way I describe it, especially to a lot of parents and things like that, is you have all the amenities of the big city, but you still have that small town feel. You don't have the traffic.
Right.
You still have the mom and pop type eating places, burger joints, all of that. But then, like you said, the concerts and the things that are coming to town right now are off the chain. So,
Yeah, and in 5 years it's
been
going to look
really
completely different.
Oh, yeah.
And that's great that you said that, because I forget, you have to go out and recruit cats, and which means you have to sell Tulsa to them.
Sure.
Not only just the program that you're running,
yeah.
but people at that age are, "Oh, I don't fly over country." Is scary proposition, because you don't see it so much in movies and in pop culture and stuff. So you're kind of taking a leap of faith.
Well,
If
and a
you're a
lot
young
of kids,
athlete.
I ask them every time they come in my office, what was your idea of what Tulsa was going to look like? Because most of them, in general, think Oklahoma is going to be flat. There's going to be tumbleweeds blowing across the dirt, blowing all of that.
Guilty.
But when you get to Tulsa in green country,
Oh, I
I mean,
know.
the rolling hills, it's big trees, tall, it's green everywhere. I mean, it's a
It's
beautiful
the biggest
part
little
of the
city on the
country.
planet.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's fantastic. It has everything that you could want city-wise, and everything you could hope for in outdoor stuff, between lakes and rolling hills. And, people, I guess, assume cowboys and Indians, and they assume Tornado Alley. And maybe I'm guilty, Just the vibe here is so conducive to doing
Right.
stuff. Everybody wants to encourage new project, new business, new ways of looking at it. And in doing that, again, it's very important to not trample on what's already here, and also remember why this place is so great is because of these spots. And so burgers for breakfast is a great idea, regardless on any situation. But doing it in Tulsa, I couldn't imagine a better location to go through and do these. And my only hope is we can branch out eventually, because we'll run out of the Tulsa ones, even though there's a ton of them. There's a lot of great ones. But we're going to start spreading out as well. So Oklahoma, look out, because we're mobile.
Every coach has stories, crazy stories, something might have happened during a game, something might have happened locker room, something funny. You have any stories like that you can share with us? Anything that's
on camera?
Anything that they can be shared on camera?
You know,
No.
probably not.
That's
but
it.
I mean,
I would if you did. I don't know that I would want to hear it. We'll wait till.
I think one of the kind of defining moments was my very first game here. You know, our first game, we're down 10 points in the fourth quarter. You know, years prior to it struggled a little bit, and it was our first game. It was hot. I mean, we come out of the gates, and I think it takes us 3 series before we get our first down, and the crowd applauds for our first down. I'm thinking, this is not going the way I wanted it to. But we're down 10 points in the fourth. We come back, tie it up, send it to overtime, and win it in overtime. And to see the reaction of the crowd, of our players, and how excited they were. You know, as a coach, really, your joy comes with seeing their success, you know, and after a win and things that happen in the locker room and what goes on in there is pure joy, elation, something, it's a high you can't buy. I mean, it's just because you put so much time, so much effort, so much into it, and then that's kind of hopefully your reward, and you get to, for 24 hours, you get to celebrate like no other,
Right.
and then you got to go right back to the grind and get back into it because the next one's coming. And so to see those guys and how they react is kind of one of those things that I love about it.
I don't know if people truly realize what all you guys do in terms of the schedule during the season and how regimented everything is, the hours that it takes just to prepare for an offense, just to prepare for what a defense is going to throw at you. I mean, it's hours and hours and hours.
I think people understand it more during the season. I don't think they really understand what happens after the season and all the time and effort that goes into that part of it, because, you know, my wife will get questions all the time. Hey, what's it like having your husband back home now after the season for a while? And she's like, what do you mean? I don't see him. He's not home, you know, because recruiting's going on, you know, spring ball and camps and all those things are happening, and there's just always something that's we've got to do, and it's one of those businesses that we've elected obviously to be in, but you got to stay on point and on top of, kind of like the music industry.
Sure, yeah.
Because people are always trying to take and move past you. You know, if you ever get satisfied with where you're at, you better watch out, because bad things are about to happen.
Of course. Good stuff.